We're going to be starting on our backs today. So just go ahead, lie down when you are ready. We're going to bring the knees into the chest and just stay in this position. Moving the feet around to release tension from the shins. And we're going to stretch the lower back and the glutes. So when you're ready to join me, come on down. Good morning. This is better than breakfast. So we're going to work to move the feet up and down, improving the mobility in the ankles. We're going to be doing some exercises to increase hip mobility. We're going to be stretching all those muscles that work so hard during the week. So just take deep breaths here, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. You're going to draw the belly button into the spine and push your lower back into the ground. Let's go ahead and start rolling the knees out, bringing them into the middle. Take your time here, nice and slow. So inhale to bring the knees in, exhale, roll them out. This should feel amazing in your hips. Let's try a couple more. And on the next one, you're going to roll out and stay out. Bring your toes out to the side, pushing through the heels. You're going to wrap your hands around your shin and just open up your legs like a book. So you're spreading the knees out, pushing your lower back into the ground, and getting into your inner thighs. On the next exhale, you're going to start rolling your knees in and out, moving the legs in the opposite direction. Nice and gentle. Always breathing. And on the next one, we're going to stay in and drop both knees into the right. As we bring that left hand down into the floor, you're going to take your right hand over your top knee. Start walking your legs in towards you so you have that 90-degree angle. Relax the back. So you're going to feel this in your lower back. You can take your gaze to the opposite direction. And on the next inhale, we're going to roll the knees back into center. We're going to exhale now, dropping them into the left side. Left hand goes over the right knee. Right palm is flat on the floor. You can walk your knees in towards your chest and gaze right. Inhale, roll it back in. We're going to this time exhale, bringing the forehead towards the knees. You're going to curl like a ball. So releasing that stress from the spine and stretching the muscles in the back. You can rock yourself from right to left, giving yourself some release on that lower back. Nice and gentle rocks. Go ahead and extend your left leg. Hold your right knee into the chest. You're going to drop the ankle into the floor. Bring your head back down. So as you have the right knee, you're extending that left leg. You got it. Now let's draw a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, we're going to take that right leg all the way out, nice and slow, in towards the right side. Take your left hand, bring it over your left hip, and make sure your hips stay squared out as you point your toes. You can flex, adding movement into that right foot. Beautiful. We're going to reach with the peace fingers. Bring them into your big toe. Bend your knees, pulling it it down towards your right armpit. So your legs are still bent on the right. Leg is straight on the left side. And we are pulling that knee into the armpit. Keep it bent. Very good. Bottoms of the feet are towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders. Relax your breath. Great. From here, we're going to take that right leg right over the left. As you lift your left leg up, flex your left toes. You have that number 4 in your hips. We're going to bring the hands through and under. As you bend your left leg, drop your head back into the floor and open up your hips. Deep breaths. And go ahead, release your hands, release the legs, uncross the right leg, leave your right leg on the floor, inhale, lift the right knee, exhale, bring your forehead in, give yourself a loving hug, and just hold this stretch. You can drop your head back down into the floor. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Peace fingers are going to hook into your left big toe. We're going to bend that left knee and bring it towards your left armpit. Push your right palm into the ground. So you should feel that deep stretch in your lower back, in your glutes, your hamstrings. Bend the knees. And just breathe, nice and slow. From here, you're going to take your left foot over the right leg, making that number 4, flexing your right toes, bringing the hands through that loop, dropping the head back down, and going into that hip stretch. Go ahead, start to slowly release the legs, uncross, reach your arms over towards the back of the room to get nice and long, as if you're stretching in the morning to get out of bed. Expanding and opening up the heart. You're going to feel this under the armpits, around your lats. Very good. Start to slowly bend your elbows, bringing the back of the hand into the floor, squeezing those shoulder blades down and in. We're going to rest the back of the hands on the floor. You should have a 90-degree angle in the elbows. We're opening up the shoulder blades in the front, the chest. And release the arms, bring the palms down, rest resting your hands outside your hips. And right now, you're going to send all of your focus to your shoulder blades. I want you to push it down away from your earlobe, so you're creating that long neck. Fingertips are reaching towards your heels. The hands are resting on the floor. Releasing tension from the neck and the traps. And slowly bring your gaze towards the right. We're going to drop the right ear to the floor, stretching out the left side. Relax your shoulders down. So make sure you have a big space between the shoulder and the chin. And we're going to inhale back to center. Nice and slow. Exhale. Gaze goes to the left. Left ear to the floor. And we create space. Stretching the right side. Excellent. Let's go ahead, come back to center. Bend your legs. We're going to go into a bridge to stretch the front of your thighs. We're going to engage the pelvic floor. Start to slowly lift your glutes, interlacing the fingertips under your butt. We're going to walk those shoulder blades in, pushing the back of the hand into the floor, and just holding this for 30 seconds. 5 deep breaths. I want you to push your heels into the ground, squeeze your glutes. We're not only stretching the quads, we're also strengthening your core muscles. So we're creating tension, we're stretching, and we're strengthening. Go ahead, release the hands. Start to roll your butt back down. Lower back, middle back, and top back. Rest on the floor. We're going to stay in this position, drawing the belly into the spine. So expand your rib cage, taking deep breaths through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. So I want you to think about pushing your rib cage down towards your hip and your lower back down towards the floor. Very good. Let's turn on to the sides. We're going to take the top leg, reaching that bottom arm away from you. So the palm is resting on the floor. You're going to take your hands into the front of the foot, bending your top leg, drawing the heels towards the butt. Try to keep your knees one on top of the other. Your pelvis in a neutral position. So we're going to tuck it, no arch in the lower back. And we're going to feel this stretch in the front of the thigh, as well as your hip flexors. So continue to breathe. I know that sometimes we are stiff. It's difficult to get in some of these positions. But I promise you, if you are breathing, it's going to make it a lot easier. All right, on the next exhale, we're going to bring that same leg to the front, pulling it in towards you with the top hands. Just wrap it around, rest your ear in your bicep, and give yourself a nice stretch in the lower back. So hug it in, bring your thighs towards the chest. Pull that leg towards you. Yes. Release it, extending it down, coming into the belly. Bringing the hands outside the chest, the thighs and hips onto the floor. I want you to point your toes back. We're going to take a deep inhale. Lift the chest and the rib cage, belly button, pushing the thighs into the floor. Now, relax your shoulders. I want you to push them down. Yes. Expanding. Take your gaze all the way up to the ceiling. Bring your chin all the way down to the chest. Nice and slow. And drop. Hips, belly button, chest, and chin to the floor. We're going to turn to the other side, expanding the bottom arm to the floor, coming into that lateral position. We're going to stack the knees, drawing a deep inhale, bringing that heel towards the butt, and keeping the knees parallel to each other. We're going to hold this stretch. Take deep breaths, opening up the other side, quads and hip flexors. Make sure you keep your pelvis in a neutral position, getting rid of any extension in the lower back. We're going to inhale, and on the next exhale, draw that top leg in towards the chest, stretching the glutes and the lower back. Rest your head and your ears on your bicep. We're going to turn around, chest down, hands outside the chest, elbows close to your rib cage. Draw that deep inhale, bring up the chest, the rib cage, the hips. Push your thighs down into the floor and gaze up towards the ceiling. We're arching, opening up the heart. Spread your fingertips into the floor. Exhale, slowly bring your chin down towards your chest. And pick up the knees, pushing yourself back into extended child's pose. The big toes touch, the knees spread out, and you walk your hands forward, resting your forehead on the floor. So this is good to open up those hips. If anything gets too difficult, this is always a pose you can come back to. Give yourself some time to breathe, connecting the breath to the body. As you relax the breath, your muscles start to relax as well. On the next exhale, we're going to walk those hands to the right side, extending and stretching the left posterior. So you're going to feel this from the glutes to the lower back, all the way up, running outside the lats, the shoulders, the chest. Spread your fingertips. Push your hands down into the floor. Connecting yourself, getting rooted. We're going to inhale, walk the hands back to center. And use your exhale to walk them over to the left side, pushing that right palm into the floor, opening up the right side. Stretch it out. Get nice and long. Inhale your hands back to center. And rest your forehead down into the floor. 2 more breaths. When you're ready, meet me in all fours. Bringing the shoulders over the hands, the hips over the knees. Drawing the belly button in, keeping your spine in a neutral position. We're going to inhale that right arm up. Exhale, bring it under the left, resting your right ear into the floor and walking the left hand all the way in front of you. Opening up the posterior chain. So you should feel this in the back, in your shoulders. If you'd like to wrap and bind, you're going to take a deep breath in, lift your left palm up nice and slow, bringing the back of the hand over your right glute. Deepen the breath. Take a deep inhale, start to release that left hand nice and slow, reaching it in front of you, pushing yourself back up into all fours. Spread the floor with your fingertips. Walk the hands back under the shoulders. Take a deep inhale, reach that left arm up. Exhale, bring the left hand through. Resting your left ear onto the floor and slowly walking the right hand in front, reaching forward. Make sure that your chin is above your shoulder blades. And when you are ready, nice and slow, start to inhale that right arm up, over, bringing the back of the hand over your left glute. Release that right hand. Start to slowly bring it forward as you push yourself back into all fours. We're going to walk the hands again back under the shoulders. This time, using opposition, we're going to reach the left arm forward and bring up your right leg, balancing on opposite sides. You should have your right hand down, your left knee on the floor. Reach, getting nice and long, maintaining that neutral spine, core is engaged. We're going to slowly start to walk your hand towards the left and your leg towards the right. You're going to bring your right foot down into the floor, resting the inside of the foot down into the ground. We're going to take a deep breath in, open up that left arm, and twist, gazing over the left. You're going to exhale that hand down and inhale. Reach both arms up as you tuck your hips. We're going to drop the right hand right over that thigh and reach your left arm towards the right side. Push your hips left. Squeezing the glutes, tucking the hips. And start to roll towards the right, bringing that left shin against the floor, rotating the belly over your thigh, and just resting here. Toes are up. We're pushing that right heel into the floor. You should feel a deep stretch in the hamstring. Let's walk our hands back into center, rotating the knees, coming again into the inner side, and coming down now into the forearms, pushing our hips all the way back, getting nice and deep into that right inner thigh area. So this is where you're feeling your stretch right now. Very good. We're going to stay here for 30 more seconds, focusing on the inhalation and exhalation. The deeper you breathe, the better. Slowly inhale, press your hands into the floor and tuck the knees back in. You're going to come back to all fours. Shoulders over hands, hips over knees. Make sure your knees are about hip width apart. You have a palm in between. Long spine, shoulders are resting. I want you to spread those fingertips, opening the floor with your hands. You're creating awareness into the palms, stretching your forearms, and grounding yourself. So think about screwing your palms into the floor and look at my elbows. We're going to rotate them in towards the thighs and the inside of the arm towards the front. So you're going to activate your shoulders. Take deep breaths. Body awareness. connecting your mind, your breath to the muscle. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale that right hand forward, picking up the left leg, moving on to the other side. I want you to balance, engage the core, squeeze the glutes. You are one strong human machine. Keep that neutral spine. Start to bring your right hand to the right as you move your left leg to the left side. We're going to drop that left foot down, coming into the inner portion of your foot. Bringing the hand under your shoulder, taking a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, twisting to the right. You're going to feel a deep stretch on that left inner thigh. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Inhale, reach those hands into the sky. Tucking the hips, engage your glutes. Drop the left hand over your shin and reach the right arm towards the left. Push your hips into the right. And on the next exhale, we're going to turn, bringing the right foot behind the right knee and your belly over your left thigh. Toes are up. Push your left heels into the ground. Hamstring stretch. On the next inhale, drop the inner portion of your foot back into the ground. Walk your right foot behind your right knee and come down into your forearms facing me. So go ahead, turn around, face me, and rest. Forearms into the ground. Push your hips back. Get deep into that left inner thigh. On the next inhale, let's push our hands down, slowly walking that left knee back into the center, coming back into all fours. We're going to go ahead and release the hands and bring the weights back into your heels. So you're going to sit nice and tall, knees together, shoulders are down, your chest is open, you have body awareness. And you're breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through your mouth. As you inhale, I want you to expand the rib cage. Draw your chest towards the ceiling. As you exhale, release the tension and bring the chest back down. Inhale, expand the rib cage. Lift your heart to the ceiling. And exhale, release tension and bring the hands down. Excellent. Let's open up your hips, adding a little mobility. So we're going to bring the hands to the floor. We're going to come into a deep sumo squat. So notice how I'm coming from this position, this kneeling position, into a nice wide stance. So my right foot is going to be outside my right hand, And my left foot is going to come outside my left hand. I'm going to start dropping my hips back and bringing my hands into prayer position. So I'm pushing my elbows into the knees and just opening up those hips. Now, you don't have to stay here. You can add movement. You can rock your weight from one side into the other. As you lift your heel into the ground, you're dropping your hip, inhaling back to center, bringing both heels to the floor, exhaling and moving on to the other side. Now your hands are in the heart center. You can stay in the middle or you can add movement, opening up the hips. This is going to improve your hip mobility and your ankle mobility as well. So if you can't get deep into a squat, this is the exercise that you should do in between. This is a nice accessory for a squat. Take your time, nice and slow. Feel your body, work with your breath. I want you to be at ease. I want you to relax. This should feel good. And we're going to do it one more on the right, on the left. Inhale, center. Exhale. Very good. Now, slowly push your hands into the ground. Start to extend the knees, walking your feet, and coming into a forward fold. Crown of the head to the floor. You're letting your arms hang heavy. Deep breaths. We're going to walk our hands on the next exhale all the way to the right side, turning your feet to the right so that your knees align with your toes and you are coming into this deep runner's lunge. Flex your back toes, push your heels into the back wall. We're going to drop that left knee into the ground, right underneath your left hip. You're going to bring your chest up. You're going to tuck your pelvis, giving yourself a stretch on that left hip flexor. So this is exactly where you're going to be feeling the stretch. You have that 90-degree angle in your front leg. We're going to take a 45-degree rotation towards the left and reach your left arm behind you, bringing your right hand inside your right knee. Now, your right knee is going to want to come in. You're going to push it out as you rotate and reach your fingertips to the back wall. Keep your hips tucked and balance. Come back to center. Bring your hands down. We're going to walk your right foot all the way out. We're going to extend the leg and drop your right knee to the floor. So you're coming into the knife edge of your right foot. So the inner portion of your foot comes off the ground. Your big toe is off the floor. And that right knee is coming out towards the right side, falling down. Slowly return, bring your right foot back in, walk it under your hip, Walk your back leg halfway in and come into triangle pose, bringing the belly button into the spine. We're going to do a little balance challenge. So I want you to bring your fingertips under your shoulders. You're going to bring your weight into your right leg. So shift your weight forward as you slowly start to pick up your left leg. Point the toes. You can use a yoga block, a pillow, if your hands are not touching the ground. Squeeze your glutes. Yes, Lori. Very good. Slowly start to bring your left foot down all the way back. Hold the triangle. Bring your weight back into the middle, dividing it evenly between your front and your back leg. Very good. We're going to walk the hands back in, turn your toes to the front. Relax your head, push your hips back. Breathe. When you're ready, walk your toes into the left side. Come deep into your front leg, bending the knees and getting into that deep first lunge. We're doing the opposite side. Make sure your thigh is parallel to the floor. On the next exhale, we're going to drop that right knee into the floor, right underneath you, coming out, bringing the chest. We're going to tuck your pelvic floor to get deep into that inner groin area, hip flexors. Exhale, 45 degrees, reaching the right hand behind you and pushing your left arm inside your left leg. Your left leg is going to come with you towards the inner thigh. You're going to push it out. Open heart. Twist. Get deep into those hips. And we're going to exhale. Bring the hands back, chest down, extend the leg, and walk your right foot halfway in. Stretching out the left thigh, coming into triangle pose. We're going to do a little balance challenge. So have your blocks and your pillows ready. We're going to start shifting the weight into the left leg as you pick up the right. Squeeze your glutes and balance. Slowly bring your right leg down, halfway in, and shift your weight back to spread between the front and the back leg. Stretch out. We're going to walk that left leg all the way back. Your right leg all the way back. Your left knee outside your hands. As we drop the left knee towards the floor, we bring that big toe up. Inside is off the floor. And you're open up your hips. Deep breaths. Start to walk your foot back in and into the center where your big toes are facing forward and the crown of the head is down towards the floor. From here, we're going to heel toe the feet together. Bending the knees and bringing the belly over your thighs. Just shift your weight back. come into seated. We're going to cross the legs. We're going to bring the elbows inside the knees. We're going to push the knees out as we expand the heart. Sitting nice and tall. Spread your sits bone. Open them up. Make sure they touch the floor. Great. Take your big peace fingers and hook them into your big toes. Open the legs out to the left. Take your big fingers, hook them into the right, and open the legs to the right. As we pull forward, we're going to reach into the toes or the bottoms of the feet. You're going to release your hands, walk them into the middle. And bring your hands back into your thighs, sitting nice and tall. Walk your right foot, walk your left foot. Bring the big toes and heels together. We're going to draw a deep breath in and exhale, fold forward. Reach into your big toes or the bottoms of the feet. If you need to bend the elbows or the knees to get into this stretch, you're more than welcome to do that. Do what's comfortable for your body. And release the hands. We're going to close out the session, finishing with gratitude. So when you are ready, bring your legs back in, sit tall like a warrior, close your eyes, hands go into heart center. Take this opportunity to exhale anything that is no longer of service to you. As you breathe in, health, vitality. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Namaste.